Hello, this is Truth Be Told Transformation, and I'm your host, Bonnie Burkert. I'm here to share tools for transformation to live your highest and best life. So what would that mean? What is your best life? Well, part of it is how we think, right? I mean, might we not get there by keeping a steady thought? Well, I've invited a guest today who can talk to us about unlocking the power of our brain to create our highest life. His name's Vincent Jenna. Hi, Vincent.
Hello, Bonnie. How are you doing today? And thank you for having me on the show.
I invite you to correct the pronunciation of your last name. How did I do?
You did perfect. Jenna as in general.
Right. I like that. That's one way to remember it. Well, thank you so much, Vincent. You have been out there helping people really look at their personal development opportunities in their lives for decades now. So we really appreciate the chance to talk to you. And I'd love to invite you to describe your new book. The secret that's holding you back. So,
secret that's holding you
back. Are you going to let us know right now at the beginning of the show already, Vincent? Or are you going to tease us a little bit?
What the secret is?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely not. You got to buy the book and find out what the secret is. No, I will absolutely. Of course, I'll share some of the secret. I mean, the workings is actually using the book in order to work through all of that. And yes, that book is actually a culmination of almost 40 years of my life and work in the metaphysical field, in the spirituality field, and psychology field. I really spent a lot of time with my experience. I have worked with, oh my gosh, it's been about thousands of people from all over the world during that time, doing readings and at my events. And so I came to truly understand that there's wonderful principles and ancient wisdom out there to help people manifest the life of their dreams, what they really want to create. We've been told that. We've been promised that. The law of attraction. There is a power out there. There is a force, Bon. And we're connected to that force. And we've been told time and time again, especially at the advent of the New Age, New Thought movements, that we're capable of doing this because we're more than just physical beings. As a matter of fact, that's what metaphysical means. It means more than the physical. And so having that power, you got these people who are, they're applying it. Oh, man, I'm going to get myself a really good job, or I'm going to get me a knight in shining armor, or I'm going to have my princess, or I'm going to have both, or I'm going to get a raise. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be healthy. Oh, financially stable. And so the movie The Secret came out, the book The Secret came out, and all of that came out to kind of really instigate that belief. But here's the problem. People were applying that stuff all over the place, and it only worked for some, but not for everybody. The majority of people end up saying it's not working. As a matter of fact, actually, that was the original title of my book, was God, It's Not Working. And for many reasons, I had to change it to The Secret That's Holding You Back, because there's so many people that have no idea what is keeping them from manifesting the way others are manifesting. And so a lot of people wind up concluding, well, it's the information, it's bogus. The New Age, New Thought movement, they're bogus. That's not true. That's, woo-woo stuff out in woo-woo land. But it is true, Bonnie, because people manifest every single day. So what I did is I put all of that knowledge and experience and I dove into it. And I tore it apart and broke it down as to why it's not working for people. But there's where the book comes from. It comes from that motivation, wanting to get people to be able to finally manifest their lives. That's what my motivation was behind this book.
Fantastic. It's almost like, it's The Secret 2.0, right? Because The Secret's been how many years ago now? Quite some time. And I think you're right. I think you're right that I love to, this is a very, very interesting subject to me, because I'm a big believer in thoughts having energy. And I don't always get everything I want, but I do sort of have an analysis of maybe where there's a shred of doubt or those other things that are potentially holding me back. And I know that we ultimately want to send people to your book, but through your experience and maybe just your own personal experience. Self-doubt, is that one of the big ones?
Oh, well, you're definitely on track there. Okay, you're definitely on track there, Bonnie. Now, I do want to say a couple of things, because what I like to do is I like to clarify. One of the biggest issues that people have with the concept of the law of attraction is because it's stated everywhere that your thoughts create, your thoughts manifest. You just said it, your thoughts. Well, this isn't a correction, but in reality, it is not your thoughts that manifest. Because think about this for a moment. Yeah, your thoughts don't manifest, but I want you to think about this. So you can manifest this. No, if thoughts manifested, that means your conscious mind, because that's where your thoughts come from. Your thoughts come from conscious thinking. They don't come from unconscious thinking. Your subconscious mind can be trained by your thoughts, and they can be responsive with some similar thoughts. But thinking comes from your conscious mind. We are not connected to the power of manifesting the law of attraction with our conscious minds, because if we were, that would be so dangerous. Think of what people are just thinking today. So if you are plugged in, get this in your mind for a moment, get this visualization. You're plugged into the wall because you're a power. And as soon as you have a thought, something is created. Do you know how many people would already be dead? How many times when you were younger, a young adult, you were so mad at your brother, your sister, your friend, whoever it was, oh, drop dead, you know? or some other things that you would tell them to do that we used to tell them in New York to go yourself. Could you imagine the image right there if we manifested and created with those thoughts? Instantaneously, those things would happen. So they cannot happen from just your thoughts. And the moment people have them, you got other people who are into the law of attraction going, oh, take that back, quick, take that back before you manifest it. You don't want to manifest. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. You're going to, oh my gosh, people are walking around going, oh,
I'm scared
do you
to
think it's going to rain? Oh no, I don't want to say that. Oh my God, it's going to ruin the party. Oh no, oh, did I just say that? What am I going to do there? How do you get that back? It's driving people crazy. Thoughts do not create. Beliefs do. Beliefs create. Now your thoughts influence your beliefs, which is why you should constantly be having positive thoughts, or at least reframing them when they do become negative and you do catch them. But it is your beliefs that create. But what set of beliefs? In my book, I divide the brain into different sections. Okay. And it is not a section that I called your adult-made mind that harbored all your defense mechanisms and a set of beliefs that were purposely created by your brain, which is an anomaly. Your brain is doing this. I'll tell you why. Creating certain beliefs to shield you and protect you from your deep down core beliefs. It's your core set of beliefs that manifest, because that's where the power of the law of attraction is connected literally to. Your soul's mind resides in your unconscious mind area, and so does the law of attraction. But what else is down there is that mind, that what I call the environment-made mind, that harbors all your first set of negative self-beliefs, the messages you received from the environment while you were growing up. I also name them as the I'm nots. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not smart enough. I'm not whatever enough. And you mentioned self-doubt. Well, if you have any of those I'm nots in you, Bonnie, of course you're going to have self-doubt. You're going to have a lack of self-belief, a lack of self-love. Now, you can try to do anything you want. I'll liken it, I'll like this. Say you want to bake a cake, a really good cake. right? And you go out and you collect all those wonderful organic ingredients. You want to make sure you get the organic ones.
Non-GMO.
You get organic eggs from chickens that haven't been injected with hormones or anything like that, right? And so you get all those pure ingredients and you start mixing them in some wonderful Rachel Ray bowls using Rachel Ray utensils. You're going to use the finest equipment, right? And then you mix the batter up and you pour it into a wonderful pampered chef stoneware so that it bakes evenly, absolutely perfect, beautiful. And you stick that into an incredible Genair oven, the top of the line, because you want the best cake out there. Unless you do the most important thing first, you will never turn those ingredients into a cake. What is the first line of instructions in every baking recipe?
Preheat the oven.
Preheat the oven. So the process of preheating the oven is the most important part. Everybody is going out there today, and they are picking up left and right all these wonderful books. You can get tons of books on how to get your health in better shape. You can get wonderful books on financial guidance and getting your financial status so that you can feel secure and live the lifestyle that you want. There's all of these psychological books out there on how to get your mental state, your emotional state, emotional intelligence to increase that so that you can function in life. Now there's a ton of books out there on how to become a psychic, how to become a medium, how to be able to expand your consciousness and rise to the highest level that you can. And it's a $33 billion a year industry. And that statistic was from several years ago. I'm sure people are spending so much more money on that today. And you look at the world today and you tell me that that material, those books are working for people.
Sadly.
They're not. Because
Yeah.
they're not applying the most important process of all, the self-belief, the self-love. My book is like when you go to the gym, and I know I had been to the gym and I stopped and, oh my God, I lost everything I gained between the pandemic. Then I went back and I stopped again. You go to the gym, you can work out all your body parts. I see the guys, oh my God, you go to the gym and even some of the girls, you see the guys that their upper bodies, I mean, they got muscles out to here and then you look at their skinny ass legs. They're just walking around because nobody sees those. You put pants on, but everybody sees the top part. So you can work out every single body part that you want. But there's the most important thing that every trainer now teaches for you to be fit the correct way, for you to have endurance, for you to have true strength. What is the primary area that comes with every single exercise in order to pull everything you do together and to balance you completely? What's that area that they call?
The core.
The core. And I hate core exercises.
Right, I know, don't we all?
The most painful ones of all.
Well, and it's an interesting word as well, right? The core, getting to the core. Yes.
It is. My book is the core that pulls everything else together. It needed to be out there, Bonnie. It needed, and that's what I was inspired to write so that people can pull all the work. I am not downing any of that material. It's fabulous material, but they're not working on the core to pull it all together to make it work, because you got to go deep down, and it's more than just self-doubt. It's self-loathing. And if you don't believe me, look at the world. Look at the way people are acting in it. When the more you see a person lash out, you could use this. I actually have this diagram in my book. It's a barometer, shall we say, is to the extent that your life is not the way you want, is the extent that you don't believe in yourself and you loathe yourself. Okay? And you can use it to judge the world. To the extent that you see people acting out and harming others and being negative is the extent that they hate themselves. It goes hand in hand because one, you act towards the world, okay, as a defense mechanism, what you're trying to shield within yourself. Yeah, Bonnie, the brain has two highest functions, the most important functions of the brain to keep us alive, number one, right? Makes sense. And then number two is to protect us in order to keep us alive. It protects us physically. We've seen that. You know, when you get a virus, when you get a bug or something, you get a temperature. Well, it's not the bug or the virus or like the coronavirus that we had. It wasn't that was raising your body temperature. It was your brain intentionally doing that to make it an unlivable environment for the bug to get it out there. It's not paying attention to the fact that the fever can be really uncomfortable and even sometimes kill you if it goes too high. So it protects us physically that way. Well, how does it protect us when we're walking in our lives, especially in the beginning, with all of these I'm nots, right? And I'm not good enough. It's got to protect you against that because you'd never be able to function. And you can see it in some people where the defense mechanisms haven't been created. Those are the ones that walk around with significant depression and anxiety and mental health problems. But for the most part, the average person, it'll create a whole new different set of beliefs. And a lot of times it turns out to be blame, but Sigmund Freud came up with all of those wonderful, defense mechanisms: suppression, repression, sublimation, projection, denial. They're all in there, but they happen to be able to protect you against what you're really believing about yourself. But what about the spiritual part? What about the law of attraction where that's connected? What about that power? Again, it's not up in here. It's deep inside you where you're connected. And that's why those inner beliefs that you're harboring and you're hiding are the most important beliefs and why you need to work on them. And that's the abridged version of, I don't even know what your question was before I started, because when I start talking, I always forget everything.
That's great. And no, I don't think there was a specific question. It was a comment and certainly an invitation to take us through. And you've given us some really great analogies, and anything that involves cake always, always works for me. Preheating the oven. So I'm a person that studies Kundalini yoga, which really works through with the glandular and the glandular system. Sorry, I can't get the other one. Circulatory.
Circulatory, right.
To help our brains, right? I mean, the ultimate point, right, of Kundalini energy is specifically that a brain technology. And
that's right.
I believe that works, and that we have a radiance through that, and that radiance is sort of informs how we move through the world and the good and bad that comes through it. So I think that it's a technology, and I feel like I think that you're looking at it in a similar fashion. And I listened to another talk with you that sort of made a distinction between body, mind, soul. And so I thought I might like to invite you to talk a little bit more about the mind versus the soul.
Yeah, well, this is all about the mind in that way and the way it's been acting. So I find it really interesting. Yes, there are many tools and methodologies to help release some of the energy that is impacted there. A matter of fact, I have a cousin. It's actually my wife's cousin. Two of them, they're chiropractors, but they study kinesiology and neuro-emotional technique. And to them and their science and their understanding is that your mind and your brain will hold on to certain emotional experiences and actually embedded in parts of your body, And so there are so many of these techniques, like you're talking about this yoga, which is one of them. Meditation is another one, where you can help to release some of those embedded emotions that your brain and that your mind are holding on to.
So that's like a physiological. So that's both the physical and in my example, I'm definitely talking physical as well as then
that's right.
How we respond emotional and mentally. So
exactly. Yeah. Now here's the interesting thing about that I will even suggest to you. Okay. They will all work to a certain extent. And here's why. We're on this planet to completely experience who we are, bottom line. And you can't really always eliminate the soul because that's part of who we are, right? And so we're here to know and to learn what we know, what's inside of us. So we have to be able to make these conscious choices, Bonnie. So yes, you see all these practitioners out there and they're taking pendulums over your chakra and they're opening it up and releasing this energy that's in there. But you always see the people coming back with problems. You always see repetitive issues. Yeah. And you may see people getting so far and then again, they're stuck again.
Yes.
And the reason, or they get so far and then they pedal backwards. That's even worse. Here's the problem. Release everything you want to, but it must always be released consciously, with verbal, with thoughtful, I understandness, because you make choices every single day of your life. And so if you don't totally understand those choices, you will actually repeat the problem that got stuck in your body to start with and put it back right in there again. And so much of the energy work that I see, which is absolutely fabulous, Reiki, healing touch, there's so much out there that is wonderful. And there's even more modalities that come along every single day. They're great. And I tell people that is great. That's what you should be doing to help get you to the point of consciously now understanding what's going on. You have to consciously say, I really do love myself. Okay, I see where that got blocked and I'm seeing where it's coming from. And I remember maybe the memory of what stuck it in there. But I am a magnificent being. I do love myself. The affirming the truth is just as important as releasing the blockage. It's actually part of some of the exercises that I do. Acknowledging, first becoming aware of the negativity or what is coming inside of you, acknowledging where it is coming from, that it is coming from a different, I actually call it the little kid inside of you, because that's where we wind up getting our first set of maladaptive beliefs, and then we compound them in our adult years. And then affirm the truth. Affirm the truth. You must release and bring to the surface what needs to be healed. And you can use different modalities to get the results. Because remember, it's the negative feeling and belief that caused the issue to start with. So you can get rid of the issue. Like I can put my arm in a sling because my shoulder is bothering me. And maybe after a couple of months, I can take the sling off and I can move my arm again. But if I wind up doing the activity that caused the problem in my shoulder to start with all over again, it doesn't matter if I put my arm in a sling. I'm going to keep doing that. I got to change the activity. I got to change what caused the problem to start with. And that's what we have to do as conscious beings, because that's how we truly evolve to a higher state. So yes, there's all these wonderful modalities that are helping us feel the experience. But you know what's really funny? Back in the 1960s, drugs helped people feel that experience. That's what they turned to back then. All of a sudden, they were using psilocybin and LSD, and they were having these unbelievable higher consciousness experiences. It wasn't just delusions and it wasn't just hallucinations. It was actual experiences of out-of-body experiences, but we were using drugs in order to do that. So now, because those are more dangerous and could cause damage, we have created and come up with other modalities to be able to get to that consciousness, to remind us of who we are. That's who we are. That's the reality. You know, that higher consciousness, that trip that some people went on. I mean, that's who we really are made of. And it may be some way, somehow, by doing those different things, it'll remind us. And I promote people to do them, Because when you get a feeling like that, you want to keep it going.
Right.
You want to keep it going. But we need to get there consciously.
Right.
That is even why the understanding of mindfulness came along. Everybody is thinking mindfulness is only about paying attention to the here and now. All of Eckhart Tolle's work, John Kabat-Zinn was before Eckhart Tolle, and he was talking about mindfulness, paying attention to the here and now. Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough worry. So everybody paid attention to the here and now. But why it's more important than just enjoying the moment? It's because in the here and now, you can even catch your negative thoughts. And when you catch your negative thoughts in the here and now, you can reverse them and change them before they become a problem for tomorrow. So mindfulness and all those activities still are about becoming consciously aware of how wonderful and great you are and being able to feel that way and live that way because of your belief that way. And the world has been pretty hard to believe that way. Wouldn't you say so, Bonnie?
Yeah,
it's crazy out
unfortunately,
there.
it's true. But that's why we're here, isn't it? Right? To help people and to share.
Absolutely.
I'd like to talk about meditation. Okay, so you brought up mindfulness. And meditation is that place of neutrality, right? Of quiet and really of no thought, ideally, is what we're doing. So, and yet at the same time, I feel like part of what we need to do and what you're encouraging us to do is to do a deeper dive. So maybe a meditation can inform information, those inner stories that we keep telling ourselves.
Yes. I have written in the book one meditation called a personification meditation, which is fabulous, which actually allows you to reconnect with that young kid inside of you that may be harboring some of those negative feelings to bring them to the surface. But Edgar Cayce actually wrote about meditation in a way that I like better than Eastern world meditation. Mm-hmm. Eastern world meditation was just based on sitting there quietly and allow yourself to feel your essence, your soul. Okay, great. That's all well and good. But when I look at the people who taught that and I look at their environment and their lifestyle and what's happened in their world, it still didn't cause them to grow that much. They still have a lot of major issues, and we do too over here. So there's got to be more, because all of these things that we're being promised is to transform our lives, to be able to make transformations. So what Edgar Cayce came up with is meditating with an intention. Meditating with an intention. So yes, you want to quiet your left brain thinking. And sometimes you just want to do that. Like if you're at work and you want to take a minute of not thinking, or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that again, that's an intention. And you're putting aside that left brain thinking purposely so that you can just calm down, relax, and get back into harmony and balance again. However, we are unfocused beings. We think we're focused. Even when we're trying to manifest, we're trying to manifest so many different things. We don't even know how to manifest anymore. I get people left and right all over the place. They can read the book and they can look at the steps, but then they talk to this person and you have to do this and make sure you surrender. Oh, goodness. Okay, so wait a minute. So I've got to want what I want. I've got to be able to define what I want. I got to feel myself having it already. And then I got to let go. Let go of it. What do you mean let go of it? Mean stop thinking about it? Don't put it out there anymore? It's just like people actually are having panic attacks over trying to figure out how to tap into the law of attraction and manifest. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And we've created more issues. And it's because we're scattered all over the place. We want to focus. The idea of sitting and just sitting quietly, like I said, is wonderful for sometimes with specific reasons, but at other times, it's just like, would you just unscrew every single light in your house and flip all the switches on and just see what happens? But, meanwhile, you got a fly that goes into the socket, zap, whatever. You don't know if a spark's going to come out because, right, you've got all these open sockets and you've got the power and the current flowing through them, just going randomly anywhere. And we've got microwaves doing that. And all they talk about now is that these microwaves are causing brain tumors and all of that kind of stuff, right? So to just sit there as energies and open yourself up, non-directed, is doing the exact same thing. You want to direct the energy you're opening yourself up to. And it can be as simple as a question. As simple as, let me know what I'm meant to do next. Let me know if I'm supposed to choose A or B. Now, if you want to meditate, you raise that energy, you're going to direct it someplace, let's say in a prayer. Let my energy go out as healing to my friend. And you sit there. Let my energy go out to the people that are suffering in the world or over in the Ukraine. And you let your energy go out. You're directing. We are powers. We don't see ourselves like that. We don't see ourselves like electricity, like I just said, but we are. You could be at a party. Here's the proof of that. You could be at a party. Everybody's having a good time. All of a sudden, somebody enters the room. And sometimes it's a very positive person, and you just feel right away that positive energy. Oh my gosh, Vinny's here. You know, oh my gosh, she's fabulous. Oh, now the party's really going to get going, right? You feel that energy. Just the same as you can go, ooh, who's that guy who just walked in? Oh my God, he feels so dark. You feel people's energy because we're energy. So you need to direct it with intention and passion. And when you sit there in a meditation to feel the highest part of who you are, you're not doing that you're doing that with focus, unconscious focus. So you're not concentrating on it with your thoughts. You're focusing on it with your feelings. And you are taking, instead of being a floodlight, you are now directing that energy and making it a laser beam, and now sending that laser beam out to where you want it to go. And it's only at those times that I got some of the most specific, wonderful answers in my life. And it's so funny. I just watched a video on Facebook by Joe Vitale, who's fabulous and a wonderful author out there. And he was talking about the law of attraction. And he said, in the law of attraction, it says that all you have to do is think of something you want 3 times. And in 3 times, you should be able to get it. That's what it says. But then he also said, but I also heard some research in doctors that said, we have 50,000 thoughts in one day. 50,000. So when I know really, that's why, I mean, why do you think the Tylenol industry is so, rich, right? Because everybody has headaches. So if you think of all the thoughts that are getting in between your desires of what you want to manifest, man, oh man, oh man, you're scattering yourself all over the place. Because you'll say, oh, I really want that job. And before you're even finished with the sentence, there's a thought that comes, yeah, but you're not going to get that job. Man, maybe I shouldn't want that job. Should I want that job? No, I really do want that job. I want that job. Yeah, but how many people applied for that job? I know a lot of people applied for that job, but I'm worthy for that job. No, I really want that job. I can manifest that job. Yeah, but it's far. Is it going to be in it? That goes on.
It does.
And then when you don't get the job, you say, this law of attraction manifesting stuff is nonsense. It's all BS. No, it's not. You scattered yourself. And that's what your brain does, and that's what your mind does. But that's why we have to be consciously aware and focused. And the yoga that you do really, I believe, helps to focus you. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, yes. I really like the analogy that you gave of floodlights into a laser beam. I was actually being more spotlight, but I was like, let's take it to a whole nother level and be that completely focused and powerful. So
Absolutely.
no, this is so great. And Vincent, you make it all seem really crystal clear. I mean, that's what I love about this. You make it seem simple, even though I know the process itself takes many steps. You're really inviting us to know that we can do this at any point in our lives.
Yes.
And really just to get out of our own way.
Absolutely. You can become unstoppable. There's nothing holding you back now. What was holding you back before is a lack of understanding, even with all the knowledge that's out there and the work that's out there. But I'm telling you, when you put your time into yourself in this way, it's the hardest work I have ever done. I have actually had CEOs of Fortune 500 companies calling me for readings, and they admitted that doing work like this was even harder than them becoming CEOs of a company.
Yep.
Because it's the deepest, but I do promise this. It'll be the most rewarding work you will ever do. You read my book and you do that work and you stick to it, it'll be the most rewarding work you do. And when you come to the other side and you're manifesting what you want, you'll look back and you'll go, wait a minute, was it really that hard? I don't know. It's like when women have babies, and depending upon whether you have a child or not, you would know this. There is a special hormone inside a woman that's not in a man, because it's unnecessary, that is secreted after the woman gives birth that makes her forget the physical pain. Now, you can have memories of screaming all over the place and tearing your husband or boyfriend's hair out, because you were in so much pain. But you could never, ever, ever remember the physical pain, because that's what allows women to then have another child.
It's incredible.
And so
it's a miracle.
Yes, it is. So this book is the same way. It will bring hard work. I think having a baby is still more painful. But when you get to the other side and you are thriving and you're creating what you want, you'll completely forget how difficult that work was. And you'll tell people, actually, it was easy. And I do want to say, yes, there's steps in the process, but the process is easier than the practice. The practice is hard because it has to be constant.
Yes.
And it's worth it, though. It's worth it.
Vincent, thank you for sharing your secrets, all right? And everybody, definitely, you need this book. We all need this book. The secret that is holding you back. And you have definitely given us lots of tastes of really how sweet it can be. So thank you.
Absolutely.
We really
and you can get it. You can get it anywhere. You can go to Amazon.com. That's one of the best ways. And I'm asking everybody, when you do get it and you start reading it, to give me a gift. Go and write a review on Amazon, a 5-star review, because it makes a difference. Believe it or not, Amazon is now the be-all, end-all to the entire industry and the book writing industry. Other bookstores look at Amazon and its ratings in order to determine whether they're going to carry it or not to get it out into the world. Help me get this information out in the world. Leave great reviews. Do the work. Share it with others. And then write me. And I do have a group that I started on Facebook, The Secret That's Holding You Back, so that I will interact with people. They will come, they share some of their successes, some of their difficult times, and I help them through it. So it's great to have a group like that. So remember that. You come to my group.
It's great work. Fantastic. And we'll make sure we put those in the comments on the YouTube channel here.
Fabulous.
Vincent, amazing. We're glad you're here. Continue on, please. And I look forward to reading your book. But already you've shared so much with me that's giving us all, I'm sure, a lot to think about.
Oh my gosh, Bonnie, thank you so much, because quite honestly, if it wasn't for you, your shows like this, and being able to put us out into the world, nobody would be seeing us. So you are just as integral, if not more so, to be able to get this out there into the world. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
Namaste. A true pleasure.
Oh, namaste to you too. Absolutely.
Best wishes to you all. So thanks for listening, everyone. This is Truth Be Told Transformation. Don't forget to watch Tony Sweet on Truth Be Told, the original, every Friday with a new episode at 3 p.m. Pacific live. So hope you'll have a chance to jump on. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to share. As Vincent said, it's so important to be able to support the people that are doing this work out there. So by following our channel, liking our shows, commenting and sharing with your friends, whether it's our speakers or us ourselves, really we need to put that high vibe out there. So until the next time, we'll see you then and take good care.